Hello and welcome to another macro video. I've got a macro principle for you today. I've been trying to do a bit of thinking conceptually about what we're doing when we are using macros and why are some macros more helpful than others, and if so, which macros are the most helpful. And I think a principle has emerged as I've been doing my thinking. Let's take an example. When we're doing training for getting people started with macros, we introduce them to Google Fetch, and it really catches people's imaginations. And we've just done a survey, and it's in one of the top three, along with Dockerlize and Proper Analyze. So why? What's the principle? Why is it so helpful? What I've decided is that basically you're working along and you think, I'm not sure about that. Shall I bother checking it? And the answer is that if it's quick to check, you do actually do the check. You make the check. And that's why Google Fetch is one of those top macros, because people can see the value of very quickly being able to check something on Google. And if you do the check, then you will see more errors. If you see more errors, then you're going to do a better job overall. So let's have some practical suggestions as to what sorts of things would be good macros. Well, Google Fetch obviously, but in the macro menu you'll find another 32 fetch macros that people have said, could we have a fetch macro for such and such a website? So there's loads of those. My current favourite is spelling correct. I'm sorry, I've mentioned it probably in the last 4 videos I've done. So you know you've just typed the word supersede and you think, oh, hang on, is that right? And so you check it. The bong tells me yes, it's okay. And I'm typing and I make a mistake like that. Okay, so I use the spelling correct again. And similarly, a double capital, spelling correct, and there it goes. So that's my favourite. Okay, editing along, and you think, is that supposed to be hyphenated? So something like non-linear or cowboy or whatever. Well, the macro for that is hyphen space word count. Sorry, it's a long name. Basically, you roughly select the word pair and run the macro, and it comes up with a window which you can't see because it's too small, so let's pop it in there. So it goes through and counts in this document how often it occurs as one word, 2 words, hyphenated, and also it does dash and slash. So that's a useful trick. And you come across another phrase and you think, well, I wonder if that's being overused, really, a word or a phrase. So let's be silly and look for the word that, and so we use count phrase for that. And again, we get a window you can't see, so let's pop it in there. So it counts it, and it gives you various statistics about the same case, or whether it's bold or whole words or whatever. So okay, so I got that one. Next, you think, oh, hang on a minute, I think I've just heard that phrase. I think it's been used before. So if you use instant find up, you can select it roughly and use instant find up. No, it's not there. It bonged at me to say it can't find it. What about down? No, it can't find it there either. Okay, well, maybe it was a similar phrase. So if I select it roughly from just to phrase, and I use FR selective, oh look, it's found one here, down here. It's not just here that phrase, heard that phrase. So it's similar. In other words, basically, it's taken the first word and the last word and said, well, if we look at the find and replace thingy, get rid of that, pop it in there. You can see that it's created a wildcard find which will find just followed by phrase. So anyway, so that's that one. Nearly there. So next useful thing is if you think about a word or a phrase and you think, well, is that in just this document, or maybe I can check on the other on another open document. So suppose it's like a macro name, so I will use find same place, and it's found it over here in the macro menu, FR Selective. So it will jump round, look round all the files that are open. So if I run it again, then it actually finds it over here in this menu, the macro list that I've got. So that's that one. And just the last thing to say is that find same place I found very useful when I'm doing a book. So I create an all text file. In other words, I'm working on one chapter, but I might want to check across on the other chapters in the book. So I use multi-file text to create an all text file, and then I can use find same place to look it up. Okay, so I hope that's helpful, and see you again soon. Bye for now.